Hi everyone, this is David Opterbeck. As many of you know, I am an elder here at Westside. I want to introduce you to a Bible study that we're starting on the book of Isaiah. We'll be starting the study on Tuesday, October 6th, the first Tuesday in October, and it will run through Tuesday, November 24th, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It will meet every Tuesday night at 7:30 over Zoom for about an hour or so. So why study Isaiah? It's an interesting book simply on its own terms and historical terms for where it comes in the flow of the biblical text and the flow of biblical history. It also is a text that deeply informs Jewish and Christian and Islamic thought and spirituality. For us as Christians, Isaiah is referred to and alluded to over and over again in the New Testament, frequently in the Gospels and also in the letters of Paul. Jesus himself, from what we see in the Gospels, seems to have had his own self-identity deeply informed by the text of Isaiah. One of the things we'll try to do is understand a little bit of some of those background circumstances for how they informed the text in front of us in its original historical context. And we'll also see how the New Testament writers and Jesus himself took some of those texts and creatively restructured and refigured them in ways that they saw as referring to their time and to Jesus. As we do some of that, we'll also see some enduring, resonating themes in the book of Isaiah that I think will be very helpful and important for us in our times today. Because like all of the Bible's prophetic literature, Isaiah, the various parts of Isaiah, are written in times of distress and turmoil. The people are asking, why is this happening? Why are we suffering this? Why are we going through these things? Is there hope to see our way through it? And Isaiah offers some responses to those kinds of questions. Some of the responses it offers are that God does judge evil. God does judge bloodshed and injustice. But that God remains in control, that history is not merely random, but that in some way God stands above history and directs and shapes things so that they turn out ultimately in the way God desires. The text of Isaiah also teaches us that God alone is God. All of the other forces and powers and things that seem to threaten us and to be out of control, all of the other things that we sometimes are so drawn to and are so tempted to worship apart from God, are not God and are not worthy and don't have the last word. God alone is God. God is in control. God alone is God. And God's plan, God's desire, the way God is shaping things and allowing things to be shaped ultimately leads to a healing and a restoration of the whole creation. God's plan isn't simply to remove some of us from the world into an ethereal realm, but God's plan is to restore and redeem all of this creation. The way we're going to go about this study, it's a very long and very dense book. I would encourage you, if you want to be part of the study, to try and sit down and at various times and try and read through the entire text if you can. But it's not manageable for us to study every line of the entire text over the course of 8 weeks. So what I've done is broken up the text into chunks that we'll look at and then specific parts that we'll focus on. So if you don't have time to read the whole thing, that's okay. You can just focus on the specific parts that we'll be focusing on. As always with these studies, I would encourage you to participate and try to be there every week, but life is busy, and if you can't make it every week, there's a website, there will be notes on the website, and you can always pick it up when you can and when you're able to pick it up. So I hope to see you in this study. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope that you have a good week.